Hi everyone. Okay, so let's get started. Coding tutorial. This is going to be a very interesting tutorial. Before that, I just wanted to give an update. I am going to go ahead and be putting out information that people have been looking for regarding the slew of bodegas that got involved in a pact. Oh, if we give them all this human meat, we bring the celebrities down here, get people to come eat here and make them sick or whatever, then we get this specific technology from Russia and the Saudi family, which is basically the ability to make something called XYZ files and then be able to project from the matrix that XYZ file is making, project specific chemical frequencies into your CPU and computer in order to change four specific like outcomes that will allow you to activate like secret permissions in C++, Python, and a few other languages through the use of Kubernets, Red Hat, and other platforms where people are making copies of everyone's database and everyone's server so that they can have a copy of the entire internet to steal from everybody, all the people of color. So now what's going to end up happening here is you guys have heard about the deaths that are happening. You've heard about the raids, people going to jail, etc. And it's because they got into this pact and this plan to play with the Black community all at once, right? So today we're going to be going into something that's a little bit interesting. Now, some of you guys, I just want to give a trigger warning because what you're going to hear is like very out of control, but you're basically going to see it in what I explain. And we're going to be talking about a little bit of geometry, nothing that you're not going to be able to understand or explain to your community or cartel. All of this is going to be very easy for you to translate. So what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to be teaching you guys about tensor spaces. Hilbert, Barnack, Schwartz, tensor spaces, okay? And there's a few other names like killing, etc. Killing spaces too. So now, one of the things that ended up happening here was a bunch of white people that play on the computer. They've been playing since like 1906, since the inception of the radio. And they were basically contacted by space holes. Like, oh, look, they built this technology now. We will go and make it seem like we're special so that our bodies can get food, get out of torture chambers. And then one day we can come down here and we can have mates. So there's a bunch of white people that play in the computer. We will go and upload them to this technology that's very simple in space. It's called telepathy. But we have to upload them to a technology and a chemical because they don't have telepathy. So the way that we're going to go ahead and do this is, remember, they're made out of a specific substance because we created them to be destructive. So they come from a far off universe and they're made from a specific substance and then we added to it so they can survive because the phytochemical doesn't register in their body. And the only reason why we got to get involved and we lost all of our speech and lost all of our melanin is because we gave up a specific type of magic to sustain white people so that they can eat food on the planet because they were easily dying because the phytochemical was poisoning them. Like, what are you doing? You're banned from this planet and this universe. How did you get here? And that's how you get an Ethiopian, right? So now what ends up happening here is, oh, well, now they have this technology. We will go in their ear and tell them to wage war on these ones because we couldn't get food and we got punished for what we were doing and what we were starting. So now what ends up happening here is they start instructing them to play with melanin dominant people. Do you see white people going to other white countries and causing chaos? No. You saw them do that in the Holocaust because they were instructed to, because they got the wrong people. You're looking for the Hebrew ones. Okay, yeah, there's Sephardic Jews, there are Hasidic Jews. Those are not the real Hebrews. We're talking about the dark ones. Okay, so now let's do Palestine because we messed up the first time. Those are still not the real Hebrews. Okay, we'll tell you to focus on somebody else. Well, you must start Jim Crow and again, and you must attack these people. They live in these communities. So the only reason why there's world wars on the planet and chaos is because white men are listening to holes in space and they're playing in a virtual reality technology and instructing them. And these white men think that they're special or gods because somebody from space contacted them. No one ever told you to question that. Like, yeah, why would you contact me though? Who am I though? Why me? And why would you instruct me to do such disastrous things? Because we already knew that you were destabilized and we already knew that you were unstable, so we just knew that we could play with you. Yeah, that's true because a simple black and brown person would just be like, what are you talking about? Are you sure that's not my ex playing in the computer? So now we come into Netflix. I've been talking about this for months. We come into the TV show Third Body Problem, where basically what they are doing is showing how there's a cult around the use of this technology. And they upload other people and say, hey, welcome. You're very smart. You're very this, you're very that. We've been watching you. It's because they know, of course, other white people are delusional and will instantly get involved in that. But space holes are activating them to just recruit more people. Some of these people have no idea who you are. They were just told, that one's okay, because they were in your computer and watching what you were doing, because the digital reality is made from a specific substance in space, so they can watch what you're doing on the computer. And this is how a bunch of people are going to find out that, oh, I'm on OnlyFans and now it's on my background check, because white people were playing with Red Hat and they were playing with Kubernets and they were playing with Tensor spaces, and they were making shapes and matrices by pulling information from all levels of the internet. And they were pulling all our videos and things like that and matching it to our Instagram faces and matching it to our LinkedIn and matching it to our resume, because they have access to every single state that license plate system. So I had no idea that I've been looking for a job for years and I can't get one because of OnlyFans. And no one told white people to do that. And that's actually illegal. Good. You wanted to play with white people? Good. I think that that's perfect. I think that you deserve it. I think that that's great. Right? So now hood hoes are getting mad because, yeah, but I want a job now because that's not making me money and I keep on getting kidnapped. You will be stuck in the place that you wanted other people stuck with you, because you thought that I was supposed to be hoeing with you and playing with you when I have other shit to do. So now let's continue. So a bunch of families got access to this technology. Yeah, she knows so much about me. Some of the people that are talking to them in the computer are the dictators that just like want to run them. Like, okay, well, let's get this family involved and let's get that farm involved. Okay, Mr. Hirder Soto, he's also involved. Okay, yeah, I knew he was a smart man. Okay, so I know it's all of us. Come to find out you have no speech. Come to find out that you have chaos in your bloodline. Come to find out that you're a karmic and you have no spiritual gifts. And come to find out that it's people that have no melanin playing in space because they have no serpent, they have no aquatic being, they have no digital reality, they have no akasha, they have no octopus. So what are we supposed to do? The computer keeps on breaking. Perfect. And that's where I come in, right? So now I show you how we're going to rearrange the entire internet, the entire computer, and make it so that it has to be open source for Black and brown people. And you can keep on playing and doing what you want, but the computer is breaking right in front of you, right? So now, well, how would they get that code? Couldn't they just like think of it themselves, or couldn't you just give it to them? Or aren't they playing with spy magic? They could just get it too, which they try. Why don't we just upload him and get it? There's something that they tied on the specific internet that's in space. It's a specific tensor space that they upload your IDE to. Oh, it's like the place where you put in code and then you make programs and then like the program starts working and then we can see it on the front end as a calculator or MySpace or something like that. Okay. So that platform they tied with the specific coding so that only specific families can then go and play with that code. But that substance is running out and that place is breaking and you own that space and we own that space because of how they use technology against us. Yes, and I'm putting you in the Akasha. Okay. So then what's the next thing, Daisy? Because they're chasing you. They thought that they were going to turn a bunch of Black and brown people into tensor spaces. So then we become the geometry. So then you thought that you were going to use our body to bring down some type of substance or math because of our DNA so that you can play in the computer. So that's why they're rounding up people's kids and like doing horrendous, disgusting things to small children sexually and inverting the entire fucking foster care system with mass adoptions. Just like, what do you mean? My child was now here and now you're telling us that my child is getting adopted. What do you mean? To pedophile homes because of what you all started playing on YouTube, and it only started here. So, okay. Right, because had you never started what you started, we will be out in the community teaching people and educating people and letting them know what the fuck was going on, and none of this would have gotten started, and you know that. So now you're forcing yourself into a specific force of physics to basically like diverge or diverse your consciousness from the magnitude, right, of what's being magnetized towards you, which is karma and realizations. Yeah, because have we never been doing that, playing on people's emails, starting hella shit with Daisy, gang stalking her and things like that? They would have never thought this was okay. Then we were doing magic on a bunch of people, playing with the court, starting shit and doing stuff that we should have never been moving our hand to even test and try. Now all of us are doing sex work. I'm a man and I'm doing sex work with like older white men. And a bunch of shit is going on and they want whippets and stuff like that. And somebody died in front of me and I just like took my money and left. Good. Good. You continue to see the reality that you crafted out of bullshit manifest in your life and realize that you're always going to be living in that swamp. It's the magic from space. So now the computer is breaking. There's only a few people that own the internet because of what white people did, and the white people can't get access to anything else. Okay. Okay. Now you see how it works. Now you understand. Before we get into tensor spaces, I just want to show you guys a few things. Black and brown people as tensor spaces. So that's jail. Put all of them in the psych ward and then let's pass this law and just say that they were being loud and doing too much and then get these chemicals in their body. Let's blast certain shit in the hood and then play in the whole entire food supply. Okay, that's not working. They're vegan. They don't want to eat any of that. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Hair supplies, that's done for. They already know about it. Okay, well, we're just going to have to say that they were doing too much in their community. So just target the ones that know how to code and things like that. So that's the next thing that they're doing. So all at once, a bunch of black and brown developers ended up in jail. Like, yeah, I didn't do that at work though. I don't even work on that team. I don't have access to that. So they can code for free for white people that don't know how to code. Do you see what the fuck you guys have fucking started? Do you see why it's dangerous playing with certain people that you know for a fact you would never, ever, ever play in my face, but you played behind the scenes? Do you see how dangerous that is? Yeah, I would never play with you in your face, so why would I do it behind the scenes? That's actually dangerous. There's certain people that you just don't play with. Now you're understanding boundaries. Yeah, we don't have any. And that's why we're all illegals and we don't have shit. Okay, good. So at least that we're on the same page. At least you know. Now you understand. So now we have tensor spaces that we're going to go ahead and talk about. Okay, yeah, but why would you tell the black and brown community that's what we're doing? Because they know that you're doing something because everyone's kids went missing. Now they know specifically what you're doing. So they're gathering about a bunch of white supremacists who think that they're scientists. Some of them don't even have like a high school education, just got on chat groups and stuff like that and heard some nonsense from a white man. By the way, the feds have those videos and all those chat groups are tapped. And they're instructing white people that black and brown people are dark because they stole their color. They stole our color, they stole our spiritual gifts, and that's why they have the curse of Ham, which is like something that they put in the Mormon church, like, oh, the curse of Ham. It's one of the tribes of Judah, they got banished. And they have no melanin. Okay, but we have melanin here. That has to do with holes in space. Yeah, we just wanted to make it seem like it was like them, not us. Okay, cool. But we already know that people that have no melanin, how they act. You can be as dark as hell, but you have no melanin. It's called pseudogenes. You guys have seen this on my channel. Yeah, I noticed that. They're not activated. Sellouts, shit like that. Courtney Dash or Stacey Dash. Kanye West. They have color, but they're not activated. Pseudogenes. Oh, okay, because you don't have real... Okay, and you're a mutant. And because the way you think, okay, yeah, makes a bunch of sense, right? So that's their thing now, playing with small children. Yeah, we have a 4-year-old and getting them on camera. I did something bad and now I have to go back into the Odin space because I took your powers. Okay, can I go home now? Yeah, that's what the fuck they were doing. That's what they were doing because you all started something very fucking stupid playing with me and a few other people in the office. So now, okay, but how does that stop? Yeah, now how does it stop? Because you thought it was cute when white people started attacking me like, oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know my spells were working. It's not spell work. It's holes from space. Promising things to white people because they already know that they're mentally ill. And then knowing that white people are going to act on stupidity because they've done that historically. Creating the Holocaust, Biafra War, Viet Cong, a bunch of other bullshit. Playing in Polynesian Islands, Queen Pele, Queen Lily, a bunch of nonsense. Native Americans, yeah, it's constantly been you though. So how did we take your melanin if you're the one that's constantly causing problems and you just get more debilitated? Because now you see something with rare diseases and a bunch of white people popping up with rare diseases. Okay, because now they're so low that they're having sex in their family like that. And then they think that people care. Like, oh, well then, yeah, well then let's go put spell work and love spells on other women because yeah, we want to be desirable. And yeah, I have other women that I can get, not just my sister. That's the new thing now, playing like that. Yeah, how do you, okay, yeah, I saw you at the coffee shop. Now you're next to my job. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to date you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, uploading black and brown women and starting stuff like that. And then contacting their job when they don't want to date them. Or playing in their bank account or playing in their phone. Okay, how far does this actually go? It went very fucking far because of what you guys started. Because they started this bullshit all at once. So now, okay, whoops. Now everybody knows who the rats are in every hood because you guys went to go play with Brandy and you're playing with Stephanie and playing with Kichi and all these hoes online. So each and every hoe had their job to go into their hood and show people my face and show people videos and like, look at all these videos that they're making and get people cursed and get people set up with the feds and get people kidnapped. I told you there's 2 females that used to play on YouTube. They're missing. Good, you did your job. Because now your whole hood knows that you're the line of drama, though, because you're the one that brought this over here. But no, I specifically remember you running your mouth and talking like that. It was you that started this, yeah. Now all the hoes that play in every hood with magic and their families that have historically played with magic, starting Chicago riots, Detroit riots, starting shit in Oakland in the 1970s, starting shit in Hunters Point in the 1960s, all of them have been identified. Ooh, long game, exposed. So now we come forward. So what do you mean you're using Black and brown children like as manifestation portals? You said like that you're gonna get spiritual powers by playing with Black and brown children sexually. That's the manifesto that they're running around online with. The feds have it. It's cleanup because of all the years of damnation and treachery. It's called the white man's plight, where we constantly have to clean up their community. If you just stay away from us, then you wouldn't have to do anything. Stop playing in our bank accounts. You wouldn't have to worry about shit. Yeah, that's actually true. Stop playing with HBCUs. We have them for a reason. Yeah, don't come to my country with bombs. We wouldn't be here. Right. So now somebody's starting to realize, like, you never know what the fuck you are getting your hand wrapped up in when you start shit. Maybe that's why Daisy doesn't start shit, because you just never know how far that can actually go. But I'm a high priestess, so I do. So I just don't start it because there's no need for it to get started. Thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about tensor spaces. Well, you know the gist of it. Oh, okay, because somebody just Googled it. They're talking about accessing higher dimensions. Okay, but why would you need to access a higher dimension if we're on the planet? What do you know that we don't know? Or what do you know that you think we don't know? So, tensor spaces. Okay, this is confusing. I don't like math because there's a spell on you. Don't worry about it. So there's a few of you guys that need to know this, that you're audio engineering. A lot of you guys are working at the feds, etc. This is where you're going to go. And they're specifically talking direct language about activating higher dimensions and using Black and brown people and Black and brown children to get access to coding powers. Because somebody is in space talking in their ear, and most people are also on the planet and they know that. Okay. And even the hosts that are like, okay, I'm not on the planet anymore. We're just running their body because we thought that they would get certain math and science to be able to come back to space to bring them food in space. Oh, okay. And now we were supposed to give them some type of like magic from our DNA so they can power up like turbojets and spaceships and shit like that, only to find out that it's like from a serpent or it's from like another being that lives in space. And you have to ask them for like the science. You get it from them and indigenous people in space, and you have to have melanin to even have access to that system. And it's a whole entire system that runs it. So you have to put it through the system, and the system has to approve. So then you thought you were gonna hold Daisy hostage. Oh well, if we round up more kids, then she'll go bad and do this. Yeah, we shouldn't have started that. You really fucking shouldn't have. So then, okay, we'll hold all the Black and brown developers hostage, and all the musicians that are making money. We'll sell off their music to white people so that they don't get monetized and streamed. So that when you play their music, it won't monetize them because it will say that they're getting their music from other people. My creativity, though, which is why everyone's going bad on Drake right now. Yeah, but who's gonna take care of our community if we don't have no money? Okay, I didn't know it was that serious. Yeah, you did. Because you saw me and you were like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to get this and people are going to know I'm a fraud and this and that. So let's start. Because you're an illegal. Because they planned this for at least like 10,000 years to make sure that you were here in this time so you can be so fucking stupid that it will get other people's kids caught up in drama. Okay, well, if we don't get this, then we know what to do. We'll just like say that she's crazy, come to her house unnecessarily, send this letter, send that letter, try to make her a ward of the state, and then she'll force the code for us. So, then they thought that they were going to put you in adult foster care, which is what they're doing in the UK. They've done this in the UK with several Black and brown developers, adult foster care. Surprise. Okay, yeah, we shouldn't have been playing with all that fucking magic. No, you shouldn't have. And yeah, I saw a bunch of white people and I thought it was like funny to get that white man to harass you. because I'm like ugly and I'm overweight and I smell. Oh, okay. Isn't that the reoccurring thing with most of these hoes? Tensor spaces. So by setting up a specific shape and putting in different coordinates, we will then get a specific 3D shape or scalar shape, like 0 to like 100 temperature, right? 0 to like 100, a rate scale, where we will get a specific vector space that will allow us to bring down different type of scalar spaces, or we will bring down matrices like this, a matrix, like, okay, X, Y, and Z. It has like different dimensions and sides. So then what will end up happening is I go and code this onto the computer with this binary space, this number space, and then it activates something in space that allows me to bring down a specific type of like chemistry inside of the electricity that's running in my computer. And then from there, the electricity sends signals to my IDE and sends signals to the coding language that I'm working with to allow me to have certain access to do certain capabilities, access certain things, be able to like run certain code, hack certain websites, etc. And then another thing that I can do is there are certain laboratories that already have these chemicals already set up in reactions. I can go ahead and get a computer tied up to one of those, but then I have to sign up with my other computer though. I can get my computer signed up for one of those. Lawrence Berkeley Labs is one of them. And then what I'll be able to do is run that cable into my computer. And then I would need like a step up transformer, to be able to bring more of an electrical charge in, to then go ahead and activate my CPU, rearrange my KEX organization or my file or Linux organization on my computer to be able to accept like different programs and things like that that I can run on my computer that are usually illegal. Okay, so that's how you get in the game. Right. Now, some of you guys just heard me explain that. Did I molest any kids to get that information? Did I kidnap anybody or start anything egregious and out of fucking control that impacted the entire fucking world? Did I play with any magic? Nah, not even candles. For what? Did I play with any blood magic using my period blood on anybody's face or picture like, oh, I will be more like them? Because that's what you also were sitting here doing, printing out my face and shit like that. Like, I'll be like her. Like, oh, I know that you were playing in my dreams and I'm getting my spiritual powers back because you're schizophrenic and delusional and you're smoking crack inside weed or you're smoking fentanyl. Oh, yeah, okay, we're fucking off. You are very fucking off. But they built you to be like that so that you can go to war with the high priest and high priestess. You heard about it in the Quadro. I've read it from the Mayan tradition, the hieroglyphs. Right, so now, okay, tensor spaces. Yeah, maybe we should delete all this from the fucking internet because why would we named a whole entire program TensorFlow. Google made this. Okay, so they really playing in the computer. Okay, how far is this actually going? TensorFlow. Okay, it's a specific website where you can go ahead and you can make specific like models, like matrices, scalar, vector spaces, etc., to bring down like different levels of coding. So you can have like different capacity and things like that. Like things can run faster, or you can pull, you can upload different like sites and things like that, and then you can pull data from their backend to build machine learning models. So this is what's going to end up happening with like websites that, oh, we sell beats. You went and hacked everybody's computer and then you're uploading them to a machine learning model so that when people are looking for certain flow, oh, I like this rapper, his flows. I can upload him and then it will actually scan his computer and a bunch of other people that he's working with and pull up beats and stuff like that so I can copy his flow and pull up specific lyrics. You're trying to be a man. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. You guys know that song? I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. Yeah, that sounds like some hood shit. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. Oh, because they're buying people's lyrics and ooh, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shooting. Yeah, the hoes going missing. Because niggas then found out and everyone's getting put on the chopping block. Everybody. So now tensor spaces, okay, but how does this like come to an end? Yeah, but I made a bunch of fake phone calls to the police and like said that you were doing this and like running covens and stuff like that because I thought it was like funny. So in all 50 states, the police used two fake police phone calls against bitches. One of them was Brandy, the other one was Stephanie, to run a bunch of bullshit on people's kids. Like, okay, well, no one will ever believe her because these two whores on YouTube who are now like trying to be quiet and going missing and getting shot at and a bunch of shit going on and dealing with CPS. They put in like reports saying that Daisy was a practitioner and like she gave them services. When did I do that? The good thing for me is luckily that everyone that's come to see me, I always like record your reading so you guys have it on Zoom and stuff like that. So the feds have seen all of it, even the good ones. And that's how a bunch of people got arrested in your hood. Playing with gang stalking. So now we move forward into what we're going to break. To use black and brown children as tensor spaces because we have melanin, so that you were going to use this as like some type of dimension, like shape, to pull forth like coding by molesting kids and like causing drama. It had to be something. It had to be something. But now some of you guys are like, why is it so easy for me to believe that? Because even though you're stupid, you know that white people are delusional. So it was nothing for everyone, legislators, everyone, to realize like, oh, that's what they were doing. Right. Or J.R. Tolkien and Harry Potter and shit like that because you think it's like a wizarding world. Oh, okay. And you're 52 years old and overweight and delusional, sitting on chat groups and they're tapping your computer and tracking you. That's the last of it. You deal with Tensor and a few of the commands that I've given to you in virtual reality. I've given the feds the secret permissions that they're using. So you go and you type that in the back end of TensorFlow and a few other related sites, specifically Kubernets, which is another thing I'm going to explain that they're playing with Kubernets. What is that? That sounds like delusional. Sounds like a German. Kubernet. Ubernets. Right? So Kubernetes. So after I go ahead and I make this tensor space, I can attach certain code to that tensor space because now it's here. So what I can basically do is put coding for your website, the front end or back end or whatever, or a link to a file. I can attach some code and then move it to Kubernetes, right? Which is a basic, it's like a server type of like website where, oh, you can like build out like a containers and servers where you host code and then like you can build out your whole app or a program in it. Okay, and it even has like your database and your server design, so you don't have to spend a bunch of money on like Microsoft, Microsoft or Amazon Web Service. Okay, I need a server because that's how I'm like gonna organize this and have it connected to the internet. Okay, or people just go on GoDaddy and they upload their code there, which is another thing that they're using, either Kubernetes, GoDaddy, Red Hat, something in Red Hat, or Docker. So then I get on Kubernetes. And then remember, I have everyone's music, everyone's code. I can go ahead, I brought down this vector space to make sure that I contain everything. I've initiated symmetry between the tensor spaces because data do you need to do that? I can have 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cubes. One is has certain type of epochs, a number of times data gets ran for the machine learning like algorithm, just to make sure that we're like cleaning through data and we're not getting things that we don't really need. So you want to run several epochs to train your model. That makes a bunch of sense. So then basically what they're doing is then attaching code after they make the shape and after they bring down the matrix and things like that to then move it into Kubernetes. So that means you have a copy of the whole entire website and you get it to a whole other container where you can run it from a different website. So even if I go on and I completely like wipe out my cards and stuff like that after like the system update and like it's no longer hacked because I'm watching this with Daisy, because I'm watching after every coding tutorial, the whole internet shuts, something goes on. The whole fucking hood is watching this. Pay attention to the views, pay attention to what they're doing to stop you from knowing that there's hella people watching this. So then what ends up happening here is constantly we have access to your data in an associative container. So you have one thing on the front end, but all the system updates we're getting too. So we still have access to all your data. So in order for us to have proper cybersecurity, TensorFlow has to get shut down. Specific XYZ files, but I'm going to do that for you right now. We're taking over all of the Euclidean spaces, which are specific spaces that they threw out in space of like a different like shapes. I'm going to show you guys this. Specific shapes that they threw out in space, mainly not really circles, really triangles, and then cubes that they put out in space. Right, so we own all of that. Okay, because that's made out of a specific substance space. And then even the backdrop of the like universe and space is made out of a specific substance space. And it has some connection to a specific color. Okay, so that means we can change the color of the entire substance space. So the night sky looks like a little bit like bluish and see-through black. It's beautiful. I can see more stars. We own that. We're actually that color. They did that on purpose because they thought that they were going to then bind that to our melanin in a different body in space and then run us as tensor spaces that we would never know. How many games are getting played because you don't have any fucking food and you're hoeing? It's that simple. You had to just know it's not that complex. So now we move forward. Okay. So now people know about XYZ and everyone can go and like do their own XYZ. But remember, they put something on the internet up until now because now we own all of that. There's a way that you guys can build your own tensor space. Okay, I don't need to specifically go on TensorFlow. I can use my IDE, and Daisy, you're going to show me how in C+ to work around this so I can open my own tensor space, and then I'm going to build this sound technology and put it in everyone's ear. So that's how they're building the sound technology. You guys are doing sex rituals on like little kids because we were playing with Daisy. And you said that we now like agree to like the demise of our community because a bunch of people with fake melanin went to go and play in space. And then they brought forth an Akasha like, oh, look, we agreed that she's not a high priestess here, that we will take over the digital reality because she's not working. Yeah, but you set up some nonsense with white people. Okay, yeah, that didn't work. And we have no melanin. Oops. And they know that. Okay, yeah, but we're illegals on the planet though, so we don't have a say in anything that goes. Okay. I knew something was wrong with me. At least you know, baby. At least you fucking know. That's freedom. That's God right there. That I can give you. So now, TensorFlow, Kubernets, Docker, I see what they're doing. Okay, so I know what code to go and look for in there. You're basically going to be looking for the organization of data. You're going to be looking for ranks, right? So rank 2 and rank 3 is what you're really going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for matrices, and then you're going to be looking for tensor spaces that they make. Now, what's the difference? Like, you have a tensor space. What's the difference between whether it's symmetry and then also how they use mathematics to conjoin them? Like, I have one tensor space on this server, and then my friend has a computer over there. We can use some coding and like tie them together through Kubernets. Ooh, on a whole different server. So no one knows that we're sending child porn back and forth to each other, then using Kafka and using VLC media player to convert the file from digits into like video. And my phone is being used to do what? Because my son sent me this. He just told me to watch your channel and to like stop talking to my ex. I was in IT as well. So you mean to tell me that that's how they're moving around all that nonsense and playing in everyone's bank account? They're slicing up the memory and data on your phone, especially in Africa, Spanish America, things like that, right? Where they don't have unlimited data. And then they're building like alternative computer networks through Kubernetes, through what's that thing called? Docker, through Red Hat and a few other platforms that have given them a specific profile and shown them how to build Tensor so that they can carry that as a server. This Tensor will carry your server. And then all you have to do is just attach your code to it. And then they will never know that we split up all their phones and split up all their computers. And now like you have to get a new computer in like 2 years versus like 8 because of what they did. And they split up all the lithium in the computer and played with the entire electromagnetic frequency of the computers. So the way in which electricity runs through all the coils and run through all the different like bits and metals in the computer to get it to run, get it to be active, things like that. You put it on a chemical server in space. And we own that chemical server at board. So there's a few things I'm going to go into here. Dimensions. Okay, yeah, because somebody looked this up. Why are they talking about higher dimensions though? Like, I thought they said that you were crazy. Oh, so you're playing with witchcraft like that and holes in space? They have no melanin? Yeah, you can get jumped. Yeah, you can get hit. Yeah, you can get hit easily. It's nothing for you to get hit and removed. Nothing. So now, let's get started. Basically, with this Euclidean spaces, the Euclidean spaces, though, is how much of what type of substance it's made out of. How it aligns with the backdrop of this universe, because, okay, that Euclidean space is really far, though. That means that they have to bring it like a little bit closer for us to do these things that she's doing on the computer. And now I'm going to show you why they're chasing after Daisy. So, Daisy, you need to tell me that you can just like type up a Euclidean space in the sky? Yeah, because we own this place. We've done it several times. How do you think all these motherfuckers are dying? because we brought forth a specific geometric space and it's acting as a particle accelerator. But because of the radial probability distribution of the planet that's super low, what's basically happening here is we brought that forth to supplement until the radial probability distribution gets like back on point. Because I told you that it's like going in and like inverting constantly because they're playing with different kids and stalking and harassing me. So you need to tell me that we're making the whole entire frequency low on the planet. Just you alone. Just you alone. So that's something that you did. Just you alone. Change the whole entire fucking frequency of this universe. Playing with certain kids and playing with me and starting shit with everyone's music. And using the sellouts to run it. Because remember, you were the first round on YouTube, right? It's done. We got something special for you. That's why you're still around, baby. Hold on. So now, Euclidean spaces, we can just make those out in the galaxy, and then we own a bunch of stuff because you have waged war on us constantly. So the Cambodian Vietnamese community, we own memory in the computer. It's called Swizzer. Trampolines. Okay. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, Biafra War, you wanted to come and play with the Igbos, so now we own physics on the planet. Perfect. Also, you wanted to go and play with the Seminoles, the ones that are still around and back in the Seminole War. So now we own gold and we own copper and we own electromagnetic frequency and we can just turn it off. So you mean to tell me that you can go in that tensor space and you can turn off the ability for any math to come through? Thank you. And there's something called quantization that you're going to learn of. Because how are they bringing that from space down to the planet through numbers? It's called quantization. And also there's a specific database that I'm going to show you where you have to use specific symbols when you're building your tensor space so that you can connect it to the Euclidean space. How did you know about that? Because I'm not stupid. I know exactly what the fuck you're doing. So now there's something that's going to come out with autopsy reports. And why do these kids have a bunch of paper and like different like symbols and stuff like that? Like, okay, it seems like they printed out like a whole sheet. Why is that? Then we can activate these symbols. Something's going to come out with ink laser jets. Okay, there's something about like electrons that are in the computer and in the printer, and they're working with specific lasers to bring down your image from the binary space in the computer, 0 and 1 space, and then to have it translate into different colors using a specific tensor space, right? Xerox. And then that's how you print out pictures. So there's a copy of like all of our photos, like somewhere that were ever printed out, or Kodak. And they are basically trying to make bodies off of that by like using different substances to try to activate our melanin and activate like our coding gifts and stuff like that for white people to play with us on a server, and it doesn't work. So then they said, let's attack Daisy because she knows about this, and then we're going to force Daisy to activate this and that. You're getting teleported. So now she's going to war with us. Let's see if we can like calm her down. You're still getting teleported. So now everyone has found out about this. We're going to get her to wipe everyone's memory. You're still getting teleported. Well, let's go look for other Black and brown people that, you know, we can see if they know about this and harass them. You're still getting teleported. Now you're getting fucking poisoned. There's a few federal agents. I think it's him. Somebody in the platform told me that it's him, that he can be the male version of her. And then he's a federal agent or whatever. And then it's okay. We can just like kidnap him, and his family's like overseas or whatever. And they live in the UK. And look, he's also have African blood in him. It could be him. Let's go and stalk and harass him. Don't even know this man. Starting so much shit. Causing unnecessary, exorbitant fucking drama to play on the computer. Why is it that serious? I have a bunch of spiritual gifts and I know about a lot spiritually. I love my life. I like riding bikes. I love animals. You stalk and harass me, so you see what I do all day. I like different plants, testing out different spices and coffees, trying different recipes. Speaking of recipes, baby, I made some of these mushrooms, the king oyster mushrooms. I'm not going to tell you my process, and I'm not going to tell you my recipe for batter. Whew. I'm telling you, I'm going to start a restaurant one day. Right. Yeah, because I didn't see Daisy like rounding up people's kids and like performing the Holocaust on like small Black and brown children and making them recite nonsense on camera and like traumatizing the whole entire community because everyone's looking for their fucking kids. If you ever get on my channel with the fake fucking page trying to like boost up your readings because you were stealing my content, I will curse you and I'm gonna do it now. So now something else that's gonna come out, I'm gonna save this till later. So Kubernets, now you guys know. Okay, so that's how they've been doing it. Because first you have to train your model. Yeah, okay, and then it gets deployed. Okay, I have to train the model to make sure that the Euclidean space and tensor space accepts my code. Then I have to deploy my model onto the internet because I have to make sure that it like aligns with HTTPS, the network sockets, and a bunch of other things in TCP/IP, which I'm going to go into a coding tutorial on that. And I have to shout out somebody right now that I look into their page sometimes. I hope he watches my channel, but it's Byte Go. Byte Go, they're fucking solid. I just love the diagrams that they make. I hope he watches my channel. I'm a big fan of his. So I'm going to go into some Byte Go as well with some of this. And now you guys are going to see that's how they've been hacking the whole entire time because they were playing with TensorFlow. And then those tensor spaces were basically like giving them the ability to make matrices around our entire website and hack them and make copies of them and then store it on Kubernetes or store it on Docker so that even when they do network updates and they go in and like look at the cybersecurity, look at the code, it's all good. There's a copy of it in Kubernetes. So everyone's Google Gmail account and Pandora and everything like that and all their audio engineering software, there's a copy of it. And whites are playing like that. Because you hosts are so fucking goofy. You gave mine to them in space on planet Earth to play like that. Like, oh, well, their people are involved, so we can just say that. But because white people don't understand sellouts. But you create them and you get involved with them. And that's where they failed because somebody put a spell on them from space. And it was you playing. We're going to debilitate their substance forces, okay? So it takes a force to bring down the substance from here, and some substances are coming from far off places. I'm actually going to go ahead and put Akasha. So if you want to pull down any substance, it needs to be approved by me in the Akasha. Why you though? Because I was the one that went through the most with them playing with me in space in a certain way, playing with my aquatic being, playing with my children, and then waging a war on me on planet Earth when we should have been fixing the digital reality. We should have been had a new computer, new apps, new everything by now, but you hoes are playing. Let it keep on going. Solenoids. You have solenoids in your computer, which are basically like spirals made out of copper. And then there's like an electromagnetic frequency that's made to pull electromagnetic frequency like into the spiral, charge up that spiral, and then have that spiral distribute electrons, information, etc. Across your computer, across your CPU, because there's certain type of computers where the binary information, the 0 and the 1, is like weaved into the metal, which is going to come out again with Planck. How did you know about that type of computer? I know, and I'm breaking it because we own copper on the planet. Because there's a type of like copper in melanin, gold. So a bunch of octopuses that you sacrificed and a bunch of Black people, we own copper on the planet. Oh, that's what's going on with all these different like metal companies, and they're starting war because the copper is getting deactivated. So they're looking for like the best copper. Okay, all the metals is getting deactivated, and that's why they sold all the rappers like a bunch of fake ass jewelry because they were saving it for the computer. Because the tensor spaces that they're opening are stripping all the metal. So it doesn't matter. In like 2 or 3 years, electricity completely on the planet is going to be done for unless we put up a new Euclidean space where electricity just gets like hyperported into your like socket. How much did you start? Do you see how you get your hand wrapped up in Wheelite? Baby, deep fucking drama. That's why I just don't get into bullshit. But people are always coming to my table with it. So, EMF fields. Let's play with biology real quick. Okay, so you're in front of the computer. Okay, you're looking at my face. Okay, I'm going to put a spell on myself. Okay, so when you play with me, you get something in your electromagnetic field, which allows a demon to open up 18 trillion million billion spaces. And in each one of those 18 trillion million billion spaces, there's 18 trillion, 18 centillion, and 19 and 999 Erzillion. It means like beyond like centillion. It's just like, it just keeps on going. Erzillion, that makes sense. There's flowers that have Erzillion petals. I just keep on going. I'm countless. And that's math in space because there's a serpent that's actually that long. So she just looks like she's like an apparition at a certain point because I can't see that far. And we angered her because we're playing with you and her kids. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invoke that master serpent in all those 18 trillion million billion places. And in those 18 trillion million billion places where she's been opened up 18 centillion, 18 billion, then 18, 19, and 88 Irzillion, she's going to bring down 888 million billion trizillion demons. Trizillion is like Irzillion times 3. How the fuck did you like figure that out? Just keep on playing with me, bitch. Right? So now actually, that's math that I really can't, you can't put that in the calculator, no. But if you play with me, and if you allow me to actually do what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing, I can fix the scientific calculator, which you broke, and we can do a bunch of other calculations like, oh, okay, well, you have to stop here in this calculation because the calculator can't really go that far. Then you have to move the value that you got to the next level in the equation and then recalculate. Polynomial distribution. Yikes. How far is this going to go with us getting hit by the feds? Don't have to worry about them. You have to worry about the people that are going to find out about this and be like, so that's why everything's dead in tech, because you're playing with the black woman and trying to like get some flour out of her vagina, and you're trying to get some serpent that's in her DNA. I knew white people are weird. My wife she's brown. She's from a different place. Turkey. So now what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to play with your electromagnetic frequencies. I'm going to put you on a chemical server where the electrons in your body, first, they get like pulled to the D and F orbitals, right? All the electron charges. So certain functions stop because why am I getting pulled out? That means I need to expand because there's going to be compounds being made here. Okay. So then what ends up happening is you're going to then magnetize a bunch of radiation into your body. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invoke paramagnetism in some of those radiation-like particles. And then it brings down a whole type of shape upon you. So now like I'm wrapped up in some cocoon of like radiation and bad electromagnetic frequency that's like from some demonic ass like dimension. Okay, but like, it's like a timeout for our kids. Like you're going to go here and you're going to think about what you did. But for a white, it will kill you. Yeah, I don't think we should be playing. Keep on going. Because somebody's computer just broke and they're wondering like, why is this breaking? Because I'm breaking it and you're going to turn that off. Now I want to show you guys some bullshit that they got started. Colorado. Mind reading laws in Colorado. Okay, because I told everyone in my hood that she's crazy. That there ain't no such thing as a technology like that. She's just hearing voices. I told you. And you wonder why people keep on threatening you to get jumped. Colorado passes first nation law to protect privacy of our thoughts. Yeah, because when this was going on, remember, they were uploading a bunch of black and brown people, right? And they were doing a clinical fucking trial on us, on our brain waves. Gathering information and data. She's feeling like this today. That means this when you see this wave. Then using TensorFlow to go ahead and pull all those data into a specific space and then build machine learning models. Okay, that's pretty extreme. Yeah. I just think that the article is interesting. It's this specific one. This white man, several people in Colorado have gone missing, mainly black and brown people. There are now 30 near around and causing hella drama. They're basically doing clinical trial testing on black and brown people and innocent children because they thought that they were going to get a technology to read people's mind and do this and do that and play in space, only to find out that you're not going to be doing that. That technology is breaking, and the chemical that you thought was going to like allow you to do that is like done for. And all I'm going to do is just block our orbitals from it. Like, oh, the chemical just can't reach me because I blocked my orbitals, so there's no compound or no reaction that's going to be made. The compound could just come in and just fall off my energy field. So you mean to tell me that now we have to like learn how to do spell work as a type of chemistry to protect ourselves? And the only person that knows how to do that is just, okay, so then we're really done for. Good. So now, other people are going to go ahead and get this shielding. You're going to feel it right now. When you watch this, you will feel it because you have to watch all this and understand, and then you get your shielding. What? And you're coming around me and filthy white men are following me left and right with that technology. Like, okay, if I can just get next to her head and things like that. Jealousy. Took it that fucking far because you're stupid and you're ugly. Okay. Yeah, we shouldn't be making videos about Daisy and trying to like ride her wave and like do all this and starting all that. Okay, because white people like use that against our whole community. Just to play. Because they planted in space the whole entire time and that's all they had. All they had. And then when that didn't work, here comes slop. Slop and making up shit. I'm going to go ahead and decrease magnetoresistance because a specific resistance is like needed to create like a charge. I'm going to go ahead and decrease that in the computer. Let's go. But I'm going to increase that in your electromagnetic field so that you attract more of a specific type of static around you that builds like an alternate like gravity force field around you, where this is like made out of a specific dark substance, like where if I even touch that, like I get like different type of illnesses that just penetrate my entire body. Public health is going to be really fucking fun though. So yeah, you should go to school for health or maybe biochemistry or something in the sciences. Oh, yeah, it is a pickle jar, but it's just. Oh, speaking of jars, how could I forget? When all you guys were playing with magic and shit like that, none of your magic is activated because you have no melanin, right? So where's your DMT spectrum that runs like the magic and then connects with the plant to run the magic? Like, okay, you put this order in, you're gonna carry this on your force. I'm just like the conduit because I'm like here on the planet, so you're really carrying it, okay? Oh, so you make deals with the plant like that. You have to make a pact with the plant to run the phytochemical. So some bitch was going in space and playing with everyone's food and nutrition by making a copy of this universe. So the plants went bad on everybody because we started doing hella magic, playing with feces and pure blood and urine. Yeah, because why would I soak a rose in feces and then like try to tie it to your energy field? Okay, okay. So now the plants are going bad on us, and yeah, I knew I didn't have any spiritual powers and I didn't really affect you. But I noticed something was really wrong because bitches were playing in space and making copies like that, and all of them got captured. So all at once, you're gonna feel a whole bunch of magic just like come over you. Because who the fuck told you to play with me? Huh? You're an illegal? You're playing with Quizzer Junior? Hey, yikes. Yeah, I know them. We don't even play with them. She's on the planet. She's cute though. We're friends. No, she just clicks with me. She's so cute. She'll just go out and pick me. She doesn't buy me at the store. Yeah. Yeah, bitch, I want you to try that. Yeah, so how far is this gonna go? Yeah, wow. Right. So now let's keep on going. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to destroy like the symmetry in their tensors. Like sometimes they put one cube together, another cube together, another cube. Like, okay, because I have to activate one tensor and then to bring down like the higher one, I have to bring down another tensor. It's like pretty intense. Just bullshit in space. That just means like, oh, okay, what they're trying to do requires them to use the other tensor space if they want to play with XYZ and play with this specific chemical. So what we have to do is just like make a string between this tensor and that tensor, and they have to put in this specific code so that it gets activated. That's broken now. That's done. Pseudoscalars. Pseudoscalars. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go into some of those a little bit later. But just remember, pseudoscalar. So it is a real rating scale, but it's not. So if it's pseudo, then how is it getting activated in your tensor? Oh, that's a specific permission that we use, and then it activates the scalar. It's really for us to be able to come back later and then add like a specific code under it and make it as a second vector, C++ stuff. So then I activate a program within a program, or I just use F, and I can make a loop within a loop. Okay, what's a loop? A loop is like yes, no, true, false. I set up a specific like system. If their name is this, that means that it's true. That means that you can get into the account true. If their name is this, that means that it is false. That means that it is false again. You will not get entrance. Loops, Boolean loops. Okay, that makes sense. So they're playing with the coding language where you can make fake loops. So instead of it like being true, it's like false, or instead of it being false, it's like true. Another thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is, no, we're not going to talk about that. I want to show you guys what an electromagnetic field looks like. I'm going to go ahead before I do that, and I'm going to make a list of people who are solid, and I'm going to block you from all the different tensor spaces. And then there's like this portal of radiation they're bringing towards the planet. I'm just going to go ahead and put you on the list for it to be blocked from you, and then let it kill everyone else. Here we go. Okay, so for the federal agents that watch my channel, they're doing the coding tutorials. One of the things that's gonna go and happen here is I'm gonna give you guys like 4 like coding akasha for you guys to be able to dismantle this and find what you need. And then I'm gonna give you 3 more permissions in the virtual reality. So keep your ears open, okay? And you know how to ping me, how to get to me. So electromagnetic field. This is a magnetic field. Ah, okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So now what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a specific type of force field around you where you magnetize certain experiences though. Ooh, shit, that's really gully. Exactly. So imagine yourself as like there's these 2 magnets. There's one magnet, there's another. This is you. I'm going to go ahead and put a specific electromagnetic frequency around you, like that looks something like this. And then you're going to start to attract certain experiences because I'm going to go ahead and turn those certain experiences into strings of light and into strings of magnets. Like you can write in magnetism. There are certain languages that they speak in electricity or they speak in magnetism. So now you understand the Tower of Babel and Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar, what they did. They broke down their hyperdimensional language because they were doing certain nonsense on the planet, and they went to go hide in the languages that you know as Russian, Czech, Polish, etc., etc., etc. But they're demons. But the language has no power. But the language has been binded, so there's no force in it. So when you're speaking those languages, I'm going to increase the specific demonic force that continues to bind your DNA. Yoruba is one of those languages because of what they did in the war. Twice. So you can speak certain languages and it will bring like a specific magnetic field around you that will harm you, but only because we don't know certain good people, we're absolved from it. Because we're all speaking, right. Okay, this is actually out of control, right? So now another thing is before you play with fucking magic, you should know what you're doing. Now, let's put on the sorting hat because I loved Harry Potter and I read Harry Potter when I was like in 3rd grade all the way up until like 8th grade because it was coming out like every single year. So I was like a very big Harry Potter fan. During the summers, it would come out every July, like Harry's birthday, because he was a Leo. And I would make sure that's the only thing that I got. And I would sneak it into the Costco cart, not get a whooping, but that's the only thing that I got. And it was like, that's what you get. It's the only thing that you're getting. No Christmas, no birthday, but that's all I got. And I was happy. I still have all my books. Stupid people play with magic because they're looking for power. Wise people that have power, they don't go looking for it because they already know where it is. So even at the end of the book, and you see Harry Potter, who's getting all these different things, all these different gifts, and people are coming after him and starting shit. That's been my life too. Like, wow, this is so funny. I'm actually kind of annoyed. Like, are you like in my life or are you starting something? Because I'm going through the same exact thing. Yeah, Dementors, weird bitches with weird wigs from the beauty supply or no hair at all. House of Slytherin, yeah, bitches with weird faces that call themselves Stephanie. And are you getting like injections in your face? Yeah, the Book of Monsters, weird bitches that think that they're like swimsuit models and they're like 300 pounds overweight and like goofy and don't wash their ass and don't wash their hair. called Desiree, and they think that they're like cute, and they're on crack. Chemical demons, white people that are coming from left and right. Isn't that what they call who's Draco Malfoy, his dad? Like they had like some little group going on or whatever. They all died at the end. And they have sex in their family. That's what they're basically trying to tell you in Slytherin. So I'm like, okay, well, shit. Well, let's keep going. So now some people are starting to realize, like, yeah, I don't think that you should be doing stuff like that. I don't actually think that that's how that fucking works, because she broke down something very complex in physics, geometry, and quantum physics in like less than 3 minutes and made the whole hood understand once again what the fuck we were insinuating. And once again, my computer is breaking right in fucking front of me, but I haven't even started yet. So now magnetic fields. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write certain things out in the magnetic language. It's like a specific substance space that you need, but luckily I have a specific hand. Like I'm a high priestess in space, so it's my higher self that sets stuff up. Did I cut off anybody's hand? No. Did I cut out a child's tongue and put it in a jar like I will be able to speak the language? Because I'm going to describe everything that you were doing to these fucking kids, and it's going to start a big ass war. Because the autopsy reports are right there. So now I didn't do any of that. I just minded my business and let you embarrass yourself. I just don't eat meat because they play too much. So now, did I strangle any rabbits or sacrifice any like komodos or play with any serpents? God help you if you try that. Yeah, I kind of feel like I have bad luck. Did I have sex with my family and play fucking games? Do I work for a company called Genentech and start hella shit and make some stupid ass machine learning model that's like killing people because you don't know what the fuck you're doing and all that chemical data is all fudged anyways? How do I get good luck in this world? Because now you're finding $400, $500 shoes, and now what? Now all of Russia said that they want to stop playing, even though they're not really good, but they just understand the shoes. It means something to you people. General relativity, Einstein. Okay, I heard about him in school. Einstein, okay, yeah. He was talking about a bunch of stuff, and then supposedly he was a good person. I don't really know. I think that nigga's stuck in some portal because he was playing with magic. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just move forward, because there's other black and brown people that did way more in science and they didn't get any credit. And that's why we don't have anything. So now let's get started here. General relativity. This is basically saying that it's a theory of gravity. It's basically saying that like you are in a specific time, space, dimension. You're not scalar. You are in a matrix, within a matrix. You have scalar capacities, AKA like my temperature can go from this, my height can go from this, my weight can go from this, scalar. You can also be a vector. Some people don't know that. Meaning like I act the fucking fool and then I cause drama in my community because I'm fucking off. Right? Vector. So I'm a conduit for bullshit. Or you're a high priestess. Right. Right. Or now, gravity. So you are here, and then gravity's all around you, keeping you down on your feet and able to walk and things like that. Okay. And electromagnetic field. So let me not sleep with the phone next to my head because it's going to impact my field and make me feel like tired and heavy. And then there's entities that are on the internet and they are on the electromagnetic frequency for the planet, which I'm going to change the electromagnetic frequency for the planet and shape for the planet somewhere else. Because yeah, I saw that electromagnetic frequency chart. So is that what it looks like for the entire planet? Like for some, yes, there's more. And I'm going to just change it to different ones. So that means that we have to tie our computer to a new electromagnetic frequency. We have to put all of our metals on a brand new, like Akasha, for a new electromagnetic frequency, a new sinusoidal flow, right? Electromagnetic. Oh, okay. It creates a shape. Oh, okay. We have to put our metals on a brand new computer if we want to play with TensorFlow to bring down that substance into the computer, because it's ran by a specific entity and it's a dark force. And then people are sitting on the computer and they're picking up a bunch of bad electromagnetic frequencies. Yikes, we played with the entire planet and we're going to get bad luck. Bad fucking luck. And you didn't get much out of the computer, but playing in people's phone and computer and starting a big ass war in Asia. Yeah, I see now why it's called privacy, because we didn't need to see all that and it started too much. God is kind of whipping us right now. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to make a choice. Do I want to be a vector for bullshit? I can be my own tensor. You can be your own tensor. You have a specific speech. I heard that I have this flower. She can be a tensor space. I could just put her coding in and put some C++ code, and now I have a tensor space. Now I can hack my husband's computer because I know that he should be giving me more in spousal support. Well, there you go. I'm going to learn how to code. So now it says right here that you're in a specific space and then gravity warps around you. That you end up taking up a specific space, but gravity doesn't go through you, it warps around you. How about I have gravity go through you and just fuck all your cells? We'll do that for white people. You're going to put on that chemical server. Now, how about this? Why don't I make a specific gravitational field around you? Because now I've already played with your biochemistry in another session. And now another thing that I've done here is I've tampered with the electromagnetic frequency of your orbitals. So, period, we're going to have radiation around us. Okay, but there's a bunch of nonsense that you guys were doing, blasting chemicals in the sky, launching rockets, doing bad calculations. Like, you just don't know when you do certain math, it opens up like commissars like around the planet and things like that. You're going to eat every single last bit of that because I'm going to tie a gravitational force field around you. Like, you'll still be here, but you're not here. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. Why do I feel like that? Well, you're going somewhere else, baby. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go and tie you to a specific server. We've already cleaned all this up. All the bad commissars, all the bad electromagnetic frequency, all the bad chemicals that they type, the specific geometry. The specific geometry of the chemicals itself. Yikes. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you have to eat that. And the way it's going to come down is through that new gravitational force field around you. So you need to tell me that you just gave me a new gravitational force field. So like certain things are coming in and out of the body. You don't have to even bring them down through a Euclidean space or a tensor space. It moves through a specific type of like teleportation force of physics. Okay, not through a wave pattern. Whoa. How are you guys playing like that? Well, it's called black magic, baby, with the Q. You keep on fucking playing, I'm gonna play with you. That's how they talk in space and they're indigenous. And you have bullshit going in my fucking ear. How dare you start that bullshit? So now what's going on here is they're playing with the geometry. So that's how they were playing with the phytochemicals. They were basically, okay, we're in dimension. We're just going to like deactivate and bring down this phytochemical. This is all they need. Only these set phytochemicals. If the high priestess is here, she can activate us and we can go higher, trigonal, planar. We can even go tetrahedral. But they're blasting radiation at us, and then they're also playing with the universal database, and then trying to put false sound frequencies to get us to expand so that we can be in pharmacy for white people who are getting sick because they're having sex in their family. It's not going to happen. When you take me, I'm going to go to this. Pentagonal bipyramidal. Okay, if you're playing with that, that means that you're violating the octet rule. That means that you're going to constantly be creating bad reactions. Thank you. So any chemical that we take in is going to have a specific byproduct, and it's going to be a forward or reverse reaction, meaning it doesn't matter how many times you cut that chemical up and try to make it safe. It does not matter how many things you put in it to like stabilize the reaction and get the octet rule. You're constantly going to be creating a bad reaction, fentanyl. Okay, not good, right? So you keep on playing and I'm going to keep on playing with you. So now what I'm going in, we're going to do here. Yeah, I done tampered with gravity and we done did that. 3 new matrices. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in a new matrix. I'm gonna put a matrix over this planet so that everyone can see what the fuck is going on planet Earth. Why not? That takes years. No, it doesn't. We're in space, indigenous people. It's called Akasha. I broke your computer and you're wondering how? So I have some coding that we're gonna go ahead and do. So let's go ahead and open up your computer and bring out your text pad. The one that we need to fix or finish. Okay. Autonomy for Euclidean spaces, autonomy for substance space takeover for tensor spaces. Because a tensor space, yeah, that's true. It had to be made from a substance. Because there's a substance that's holding the specific equations that allow for that space to have its functions. Oh, I didn't know that's how it worked, right? Again, didn't play with anybody's kids, didn't hack anybody's computer, steal anybody's information or work, didn't start anything. So now we're gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna show you guys the tools that we can bring down. So Daisy, let's say for instance that we want to build this. We want to have our own like tensor space and our own vector spaces and things like that. What can we build? Well, basically in your matrix, you can make like a specific like chart, a shape. It's called a shape. I'm gonna show you this. You can make a specific shape. Like this would be a specific shape, right? This right here would be like a shape, like, oh, it's like a table. My higher self wanted me to pause to let you know that there's a specific magic that you guys have access to. You need to learn how to use it. You really just take your hand and start moving things around. I already taught you guys how to use space magic. Please look for that video on my channel, how to use space magic. You can write stuff down in the Akasha, like in your notebook, like, okay, this is going to be going to the Akasha. I write this down and it goes into the Akasha. I can feel that though, right? There's certain tools that they've made. There's certain duats, or toilets in space. And you can go ahead and pick, it's already set. And you can just go ahead and pick up a piece and put it in somebody's mouth, and that's it for their dental work or their breath. So now what's going to end up happening here is we can make these tensor spaces, right? Okay, and then we make a shape. So this can be like a table. This whole thing can be like table one. You could say a planet, indigenous niggas. And then who he matches with on planet Earth. And then you can get pictures of fine ass indigenous niggas and which one is yours. Or I want to find out data from like who started the Holocaust, because everyone's beefing in Poland and Russia because we figured something out. Like not all of our families are into the bed like that. I didn't know that that's what you were doing, right? We can say here, a family last name. You can put something here. Army registration number, and then you can say here a country that they're from and then city that they're from, because maybe the names have changed. They changed the name of the city, and that's where you're from. Thank you. And then we will bring a new vector space, and then you can have that information. Another one that's even more fun is like, I want to find out like all this old data, because he burned a bunch of data and they got rid of a bunch of data. I want to old recordings and old videos and things like that of individuals that were involved in starting world wars. You can type in here, one table would be conflict started. You can put individuals involved, and you can put specific recording, but this would get pulled right from their memory, even if they're dead, because the memory crystal itself is made out of selenium and silicone. And electricity too. And you pull on the memory of the electricity from a specific tensor space that's connected to the Akasha. Whoa. So matrices, right? So we can bring down our own, bring down BCD format, bring down our specific coding, and we can do all this. Now, let's say, for instance, somebody wiped my whole fucking computer, and none of my was on the internet. I just woke up and my entire like audio thing was like wiped. It's on the internet. It's just with the Russian. Yeah, but how much shit did we actually start? Keep asking yourself that. That's okay. You can say this is you, right? You could say engineering platform. You can put here songs that will come in, and you can put here like how long it was, etc. And then you can put like MAC address for where you can locate this. Now, let's say, for instance, like one matrix will just give you the floating points. Like, okay, those are all the floating points, but I know that there's a software where you can put in the floating points and it'll give you like the frequency and things like that. And then I can get my beats back. Okay. Or you have like the whole entire song in MP4. That's 2 tensor spaces above. Again, did we molest any kids? Did we start any shit? Did we play with any spell work? Did we play with bets? Thank you. So now let's go ahead and we're going to bring down a specific type of encoding on the internet that's going to allow us to start this process. I need to bring down a specific, oh, that's fine. This, no, I'm not going to need that. Mm-mm. We're gonna keep on going. Oh, step up and step down transformer. I almost forgot. I almost forgot. Yeah, because how does the electricity come from like the power plant to my house? Because now there's not going to be any electricity. You see what's going on with the airplanes, right? Do you want me to tell you what happened with the airplanes, which they all knew about? You're going to need a specific force of physics if you want to run this tensor space. So we are going to go ahead and utilize things that you already have, and you will see then that we did the right thing. They basically tied magic to all of this round motion. It's a force of physics, torque, not twerk, torque, circular motion, right? They tied a magic to all of that so they can try to run a planet to activate it to grow food. So they tied it to all the nuts and bolts and wheels on the airplanes. Do you see what's going on with Boeing right now? And then they stripped the metal because the substance that they used to tie it. So you need to tell me that all the airplanes could have been okay and had like at least like 10 extra years, but they all need to be renewed. And we don't have the metal or the manpower to fix anything. So a lot of airplanes are going to go down. So air travel is going to go all the way up and become a luxury again. Hose. We're going to use this one because there's a portal function in between and in the middle, and we're going to make it go faster. So get ready for a bunch of white people. I'm playing in your city, in your town. I'm playing with people's kids, but guess what? The feds are already on it because they have everyone's computer tapped. Why? Because you're here on my YouTube. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and use 16-bit because 32 was taking up a lot of memory, just like on my computer and everything to run. So we're going to use 16-bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that people do in Python, C+, or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and double the string. Yeah, you can do that. You can double the string and then you get the data, but then the data does not register on your CPU and you still have extra memory. Thank you. I feel taken for it, right? There's an older woman watching this. Well, physics, yeah. When I was growing up, women weren't allowed. I understand, right? Oh, granny, it's okay. This is where you get your validation and good recipes. That looks like chicken. Yeah, somebody's screaming. I want some, yeah. Woo. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. But there's a different type of ororani. Yeah, if I play with that octagon and then I aspect those two vectors or tensor spaces. So these can be tensor spaces where things come forth. You're building fucking portals on the internet to break the white man's computer, baby. Let's get it started. I'll call my baby daddy and tell him what's going on because he's going to get mad at me, right? Start conversation. Maybe you guys will stop going back and forth in custody court. That's also spell work. Yeah, I kind of miss him. But what about that website where you can find I want to see who did spell work on me. That's perfect. There's a matrix that we can make. Plants, who put the order in, what the spell was about, approved or rejected. Because these plants have a specific planar, linear, biseparate geometry, and then you can just go into the database for those geometries because we own them. Yeah, but that would take forever for that to come down to the planet unless you use a specific type of teleport force, which we don't have access to, by putting a specific frequency on the internet that you have access to because you already did this like 4 years ago. Okay, and we can't activate anything without using XYZ files, and that doesn't work here. I own that too. Just be careful when you play it. So then we have this and that, and they're aspecting. That's perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and do, so I have ZY, and then there's do find needs around the side. Okay, I have to say it in the indigenous way, and this is a kurikisi. Okay, so let me look into this vector. Yeah, each one of them. This one has this one for Euclidean spaces has this one. The other one has a different one. So this goes about 8 times. Okay, and then the other one goes a few times too. Right. If somebody wants to play, well, who said we'll be allowed into this universe? You're banned from this place. What are you talking about? Right. You're playing with hosts. It would never happen. It's important that you get involved. It's important that you work with them. Now they're changing their story. Pros in space. It's important that you work with them. Okay, yeah, but we told the pale one that we'll be able to get this and that, and they know that we can't. Now they're going to be coming after our bodies. Ooh, no, not that one. Yeah, that one can work. This means I'm going into Guru Kikisa Duana Eswazin. Okay, perfect. It means I'm going into specific parts of physics to bring forth 18,000 types of substances. In each one of those 18,000 types of substances, one is carrying a portal of 3, a trifecta. Okay, that's very interesting. Playing with people's kids in space. You're making copies of my fucking son. You're playing with my daughter. Okay, talking about she's gonna come to the planet and she's gonna mate a pale one. Oh, bitch, you want to start it? Just insinuating garbage, but getting hit with wow. Literally, wow. Just give her a wow. Yeah. That means that you're both through several contractions all at once, but you're not pregnant. You're gonna be opened up, literally. We torture people in space. So my family, we torture people, and so they play with me, and then said, "Well, she's going to be on the planet, and well, that's how we get back at her." There's a reason why you were tortured, because God wouldn't have allowed it if you didn't deserve it. So all this you're doing on the white is because He called it to Himself. I want to know more. There's a few people in Mexico that need this. They already got it. Your hand is supposed to amp it. I just take the spell and I put it over them. Some bitch thinks that she knows what it is, and she does not. So now there's this rabbit that I'm playing with in space. She's the cutest thing ever. I'm gonna show you her picture. Maybe not. You guys start stalking her. She's sweet. Yeah, we talk sometime. There's a few Komodos and stuff like that. I like them. It's like octopus. I'm kind of talking to him. Autonomy for Euclidean spaces. So we're gonna go ahead and play with Y, and then each one is 8. We put 8, but each one, this one has 88. So I can put each one to 11, and that makes it 88. Yeah, okay, each one is 88 times. Or it's 88. Okay, so I have 8, and then I have to put this to 88. This can be possible. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, because okay, it can go up instead of going like scalar, it can go like vector. Okay, and then it will just basically act as a conduit to get me to that 88. Okay. So we're gonna go and play with this. Right, it's totally great. I know. Right, got a little bit of nothing on the computer and started a big ass fucking war. This one is 8. It's only 8. Okay, so now you guys are finding out like, okay, so this Odinani that you're doing, how did you get this? Because I'm Igbo and I got it because I wasn't starting shit. My family suffered in the war and my grandfather gave it to me because they killed him in the war because he was trying to settle everyone's farm. No, this is their land. This is that family. They kicked them off their land last night. Then these people came in and said that this is now their land. And that's why they try to like play with my grandfather. But everyone knows our family in Nigeria. So a long time ago, a few families got together and said, well, she's going to have to get stalked and harassed because of what her grandfather did. So my whole entire life, I've been getting stalked and harassed by a few people that are not. They're actually some Yorubas and they're Calabar. Not a Akwa Ibom, Calabar. And they went to go and stalk and harass the fuck out of me when I was a child, making shit up, causing a bunch of drama, and they don't get anything. And I put a tutorial out in the African community and it started a big ass war. How is it that she's doing speaking after all that we started with her family? That means that they're watching this spiritually. So many people got fucking hit playing with me like that because it was just to get to my family's name. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you say that the daughter is this and that in America, then we can take these fake videos or fake messages and look at this and look at that. And then we can say that their family no longer has title so that we can remove them from their land because the whites are looking for pharmacy and we don't have any pharmacy herb. Hella people dead. There's a bunch of shit going on. Motherfuckers deported, lost their job. There's a bunch of shit going on. Dead. So now, something will come up. Yeah, the feds are behind it. Yeah, I see Zugogazia. I see Kwayesai. I see equals on Awazia. It's like an Igbo word meaning like I see like the God is bringing down her frequencies here. So you have to speak Igbo, a certain type of Igbo to play with this. Yeah. Oh, let's go play with Africa now. Yeah, that's not working because they all gave us phone calls like we can't help you anymore. Okay. And then we do, we build the container. So there's 88. So each one is, we have 8 to 88. And there's a high priest. And he was the first casualty in the war. 1959, when they first started it with bringing down the missionaries to Nigeria. And he was letting everyone know, you better not let them on your farm. Don't give them anything. They're going to start a war with you. Well, what do you mean that everyone has to go to church and they have to come down to this and do that? When did we start following them? We had our own rules. We have our own market days. We have our own God. They're even saying that we shouldn't do masquerade and we shouldn't be divinating anymore. What is that? And they killed him. So he owns all of this. I'm telling you, God is so wicked, but God is so good. Just make sure all those kids go home, okay? You already know how to do it. Drop them off at the hospital or at the school where you snatched them from. At a local place, okay, taqueria down there. They'll take the kids. Make sure it's the right taqueria so they don't get trafficked again. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing that little baby screaming. I'm not a woman yet, screaming. And we're hearing it through the virtual reality because they're playing it on purpose. Like, oh, if we go ahead and we try to traumatize her or play this in their ear, then it will use a specific chemical and then we can build the vector space. Oh, okay. So you are talking about doing rituals on the whole entire Black and brown community like that. It's the wrong person is watching my channel because somebody got messy and goofy in the office. Yeah, I've heard about her. No, I wasn't telling you anything about witchcraft and things like that. Okay, but you're fired because we know that you're involved. To speak Igbo, yeah, I do have that Akasha, but also too, somebody's like putting me in the Akasha. So it's something that I have to confess. Somebody took me out of the Akasha to speak Igbo language because I haven't done a certain thing. And it has to do with okay, because I haven't told Zico Ghana to do okay. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that, Auntie, please. It's important that I have this language. Temporarily. Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll get that done. I had to give somebody a certain message so I got the Akasha because I was like, should I call them and tell them about this? I don't want to start anything. And then there was like some messy shit. Like I don't like drama, so like I like deleted a bunch of people. I didn't delete. It's not delete people, but I took myself off of a bunch of like servers. Just didn't want to hear about it. So I got some bad luck from that because I'm supposed to be putting out information. It's okay. They're on my LinkedIn, so I'm just gonna like go ahead and contact them. No, no. There's karma with that too because what? Yeah, a bunch of drama going on with Black people in tech now because oh okay, ooh, yeah, we're not gonna have shit in tech. You're not gonna have shit in tech. People saw that with Cape Port Center yesterday that they're canceling their events because they don't have anything to write off of, and everyone found out what was going on with these different white families in tech and what they were insinuating with Black people in tech and playing with me and starting shit with white people. So they're canceling their events now. I'm going into Guruzai. We're gonna go into Zai. Yeah, I hear a white man screaming, "What the fuck? Yeah, computer breaking right in front of you. What are you starting? What are you talking about?" Um, just make sure you turn that shit off in my ear, okay? Because I know you heard me. Just make sure you get that shit turned off. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do substance takeover. So we did the Euclidean spaces. That's done. Now the substance takeover is more like tensor takeover. Wow, like you feel like that virtual reality thing like lifting off me. What the fuck? What? Okay. Yeah, these are all conducting all together. That's fine. It can go like this, then that, and then this for that. Boom, it's here. And it's on the internet. Okay, I'm gonna put people in the Akasha to use this. It's just let me see. Done for. Euclidean spaces through the internet. I'm gonna do this one and I might do like one more for some other bullshit that they thought that, oh, we have this behind the scenes, but it's tapped. Oh, but just so you know, the more you bring shit over here, the more I own it in the Akasha. But I think I'm gonna just set up like some automated system, like, oh, whenever they bring this over here, I think my higher self has something set up. It sets up an Akasha instantly so that you own whatever they're bringing towards you. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and get started with this last one. Yeah, God is really good. Yeah, somebody's starting shit for that evil language. I put myself in the Akasha. What do you mean? Africans are fucking horrible, so let them hear about you talking about sex rituals with Russians. This one is a good one. 24. Good. Yeah, the text should be digital warfare. Whoa. Yeah, she's already started using this one. Oh, that's, you can use that one. It's fine. First, you cut the onion. Then you boil the onion. Right. So let's keep on going. Mm, 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 Give me 1 second. There's like some type of like meeting. Um, playing hell fucking games, right? Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have like started all that with you and like tried to like have you medically kidnapped and then played a bunch of games in your fucking apartment with filthy, disgusting white men that are now under investigation and have no money and can't get any EBT and don't know why because their name is on the list. Maybe we shouldn't start a bunch of shit with Matt Haney or his disgusting sister that thinks she's Ronda Rousey and thinks that this is a competition for her to be black and thinks that she's some Civil War princess. Like, let me go call the guards and starting a bunch of shit with other white bitches. Maybe we shouldn't start all this with Latifah Sign because we knew that she was a fucking op for several years and that she has a bad reputation in the black community and try to activate her to play with you, even though we knew she was mentally fucking ill and she has a diagnosis of schizophrenia and psychosis and sociopathy. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have installed that because she's willing to destroy our computer. Okay, yeah, but it's just called forgiveness. Okay. And Palestine, and my sister, and then my brother Amias, and all the children that you played with. Okay, let's get started. I will read into you and yeah, of course you see that. Right, and then uploading everyone's face to that stupid ass technology and playing with chemicals like that. And then stealing everyone's fucking music and playing games. And then you thought that you were gonna fucking enslave me to play with the computer. Make sure all those black and brown men that you kidnapped to code for you, make sure that they go home, okay? I see another white man around me, you're just getting hands laid on you, period. It's almost finished. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Like cybersecurity. Like I said, make sure that shit gets turned off in my ear. Nothing. She's not said shit yet. They're just trying to figure out how they're going to lie to them about how this computer is breaking this time around. Because they're deadly afraid for their physical bodies getting like kidnapped and harmed. There's a few bitches that were watching this. They went to go click off so they can make it seem like they never watched my channel. Yeah, you can feel it as I'm like typing because something's like getting released from around you too. Nonsense that they were bringing onto the planet and playing like that. Yeah, and something's going to come out that all these families in Poland and Russia that were playing on this computer and playing with XYZ file and playing with TensorFlow and machine learning and data science, all their families started the Holocaust. This one has a little bit of chemical warfare for TensorFlow. You know, um, yeah, better. Okay, good. Okay, High Priestess. So now you guys can go ahead and use this. Spiral works for new servers. My brother Aliyah, my brother Ermias. Okay. So we have everything that we need down. This portal, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make this bridge beige, specific color sequence, bridge beige, to bring down an added force. Bridge beige. Okay. She's a real warfare. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Let me just go ahead and handle this. I'm gonna upload this to my drive. And by the way, for the federal investigators, because you guys are working things out, like how do we make sure that this and that ends up happening for I have a few documents from GoDaddy where people knowing that I like trannies and like you were just telling people too much about me. Why did you fucking have my phone to upload me to virtual reality? Yeah, just you shouldn't have said anything. I was like older and white. Do you know I can put my hands on you and nothing can happen legally? Do you know that in any state you step into, I can have you fucking hit instantly? Yeah, that's gonna come up later. You guys want to know something? I had an IEP in high school, not because I was like bad or anything. I didn't want to learn. It's because my and my mind was towards healing. I was more towards healing, and in my IEP, I'm going to show you this because people swore I'm a problem. My IEP lady was like, Daisy just doesn't listen to class. She just leaves and goes when she wants to. Really, that's a lie. I just needed to go to the bathroom. But she said that I make friends very well and I'm always the life of the party because I was always giving off like healing energy, like, oh, you're going to be okay, like petting people, giving people nicknames, making them feel like a part of the family and welcomed. I was always that type of person. So I don't know why bitches wanted to be with me. So I guess somebody was looking at my documents and they looked into my IEP and were like, don't show anybody this, right? Because why me? Why problem? Liking everybody, friends everybody. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, that's a good one too to put in. .cpp. But I mean, like, it will open it up and like not be able to read it, but it will open it up and scan it and like break MASM and ARM. Let's get that started. Oh, somebody's having fun with like I can feel like it in my arm. I'm moving the magic around. Keep doing it. She'll be sick. Yeah, that's feces from like some toilet far, far, far away. They even have something like you know how you have like scrubbables, like they scrubbed all the toilets, all the dirtiest corners and spaces on the planet, and they turned it into a ball of energy. Just put it in her mouth since she wants to talk. Mm, 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 mm. That's what you were doing to kids, right? They have to eat the Bahamut and doing nonsense to children like that. Well, good. I'm glad that I'm here, if only but for a moment. But I can do cpp.kicks. Yeah, we broke that. Okay. And it's on the server, Apple server. Yeah, here, I'm going to put you in the Akasha for that, and then I'm going to attach this. This will just get distributed everywhere. So instead of you having to go and look for that substance and look for this one, okay, and then in magnetism, some of you guys are like, I want to write out these different languages. Like, how do I do that? Putting yourself in the Akasha. I want to learn Quado, all that. Put yourself in the Akasha. Certain things you may have to do, like, okay, we can't give them any more supply for tomatoes or anything like that. Because look what they're doing. They're playing with the Gungaga. They're playing with the white. I kind of knew that. Yeah. So there you guys go. So that concludes our coding tutorial. Yeah, that's fine. They can use that. They have like some type of like file changer in space where you can turn any file to any file. Okay. So we are going to have like 6 different new file formats, but each one of those file formats is going to be able to convert into a different file format. Some of you guys are looking forward to some of this text, like, oh, the botanical one where you can type in like a plant and you can see who's ordered spell work with that plant. Yeah, those are new tools that we need. Why all this other stuff? You're talking about AI. You can barely do what you can now in the laboratory. Why AI for this and this and that? What AI is going to clean the floors in the bathroom? Who's going to make all these tacos and burritos? Right. So, anyways, you guys, that concludes our coding tutorial for today. Okay. We're pretty good here. I have another coding tutorial. We're going to go through Byte Byte Go and break down a bunch of stuff that they've been putting online. All right. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Bye.